Hey everybody, welcome to our DIY channel. Today we're going through how you can get from this to this in an easy DIY format that you can do at home for your deck restoration. So keep watching and find out how we did it and how you can do it yourself at home.
Now, I'm replacing this last 3 rows next to the pool because this huge tree here keeps dropping gum nuts and leaves, stuff, of course, and gets down into the gaps of these boards and rots down and creates a humus that stays wet around the bearers under these boards are fixed to. So I've unscrewed that one and have a look what's under here. Look at that. Just permanently wet. And these little bearers that have been thinned down to sit on the pool shell, concrete pool shell, which goes from here to the pool. These last 3 rows, these bearers are quite thin, about 1 inch thick, and they're all rotten. They're all rotted out because of this humus. This wet, permanently wet stuff that's not cleaned out. So really, that has to be cleaned out every 6 months, I would say. From here back, and you see it goes up this curve. This is on. There's a void below the bearers, and all the rotten organic matter gets away. So I'll be replacing all these little bearers that are screwed into the concrete pool shell. And just taking note, the advantage of using square drive stainless steel decking screws is it can easily be lifted and cleaned out. If you nail the deck down, there is no way you can pull up the decking boards as easy as this. So just allows you to take the last few rows up every few months, 6 months, and clean out all this rotten stuff. You can see all the stuff under here, it's wet, and these 1 inch thick bearers have failed. So it's just completely rotted through. And so they have to be replaced. Next project here will be to sand back the oxidization from the top of the decking boards and refinish with 2 coats of decking oil. So I've rebattened this pool deck area here where a lot of these battens were rotten, and I'm refixing. I'm able to reuse those last 3 rows to keep the colour consistent because the black butt turns quite grey in the weather. So I'm just refixing down the old decking boards because there'd be a radical difference if I use new boards. So I think it's going to be a good result. So next phase of this job here is to give these decking boards that go up the wall a sand with a random orbit sander, and to cut the oxidization off the top of these weathered boards. You're just wanting to make them smooth to accept a couple of coats of oil. This really should be done every couple of years, but they've left it probably 5 years, and it's a bit ordinary, but good sand with a coarse paper, and that'll be ready to oil. So I've hand sanded the wall and this curve with the random orbit sander. I use a 60 grit paper on it, and it just cuts off that oxidization, makes it nice and smooth for the oil. Now I'm getting the Canterbury on it, on the flat, for more for the larger scale areas. Use the Canterbury. You can hire a polyvac 16-inch rotary machine like this at Kennards or those higher places. Makes the job a lot quicker. Now that all the decking's sanded and I've blown it with a blower, I've had to replace a couple of boards that were rotten. You can see the colour difference between new black butt and weathered black butt. And cut off the oxidization and ready to, and I've done the stairs as well. Just using a natural decking oil, 2 coats of that. No real pigment in it, tiny bit of pigment, but it's essentially clear. So I'm applying that with a lambswool pad, and ideally not in direct sun. It's quite a cloudy day today, so it's actually perfect.